In the midst of life's chaos, its feeling overwhelmed is simple, but Buddhism is an age-old wisdom that can. As we seek peace, please accept our friends. Examine these timeless lessons. Buddhism began together a very long time ago. India used to educate us that real possessing more doesn't equate to happiness. Of things, or constantly seeking enjoyment rather, it originates from within us. These days, life might feel incredibly busy. Thoughts never seem to stop, and we're constantly rushing. But it's okay. Buddhism provides us with 6 basic suggestions to feel strong and at ease. Even in the midst of chaos in life, we will examine each of these 6 concepts in turn. They function similarly to specialized tools. Us get through difficult situations and find calm in our hearts from realizing that everything shifts to become gentle with one another and ourselves. These lessons teach us how to live better lives. So let's pause, inhale, and begin this trip with each other. To investigate the ways in which Buddhism might more content and relaxed no matter what. Principle 1. Things that life throws at us. First principle, impermanence. Impermanence is similar to anatta impermanence. The one thing that never changes in life. Seasons shift, people shift, even our emotions and ideas shift. Nothing endures forever. Everything is a major component of what makes life worthwhile. When we truly comprehend that, since everything is constantly changing, it's helpful. We stopped attempting to cling onto objects too closely. We begin to notice that the although happy times don't stay forever. The difficult moments we can't recognize and embrace change. Rather of engaging in combat with them, recognizing impermanence benefits us not become overly devoted to objects, which can give us a feeling of freedom and peace. Accepting transience in our day-to-day life can be as easy as realizing the natural beauty of every instant. We can get into the habit of letting go of it, giving up our standards and becoming receptive to anything that confronts us when it comes to, rather than fighting change. We can attempt to relax and accept that nothing endures eternally. By accepting impermanence, happiness can be found in the here and now, and let go of concerns about what is ahead. Life is an ever-changing journey. From the time of our birth till the day we all breathe our last, everything around us is changing. Seasons. When partnerships change, and our own bodies and minds go through innumerable impermanence of transformations, or anatta in Buddhism, is the understanding of this all-encompassing reality that nothing in life is impermanence. First appearing permanent may appear to be a difficult idea after. All we frequently want is security, and we cling to certainty in our lives, accustomed schedules, connections, and belongings in the hopes that they would supply us. Nonetheless, feeling secure, attaching unduly to the appearance of permanence can cause pain when life's inevitable changes take place. Whether it's a loved one's passing, breakup, or a dramatic change in circumstances in certain situations, we can find ourselves feeling overly concerned or let down. But what if we could change our minds, our viewpoint, and discover how to accept impermanence as an essential and natural state portion of existence? What if, rather than by rejecting change, we might develop our flow? It, discovering freedom and tranquility in its as well as flow comprehension of impermanence, starts realizing that transformation is not anything to be avoided or feared, but instead something to be welcomed and recognized as the seasons change smoothly from one to the next. Likewise do our life's events transpire in an ever-evolving dance when we recognize. Given this reality, we can start to let go of our connection to predetermined results and acquire knowledge to recognize the beauty in every moment, since it emerges in one of the deepest manners that realizing transience can benefit us is by assisting with our separation from fleeting encounters in a world. Doable strategies for accepting impermanence, wherein constant messages about immediate satisfaction and consistent consuming, it's simple to get attached to life's transient joys. Whatever the reason, the thrill of a fresh bonding over the excitement of shopping frenzy, or the transient euphoria of a social media, regardless of how these experiences intrinsically transient and clinging to pain, only results from them when they inescapably come to an end through developing a transient consciousness. We might develop an appreciation for the character of our encounters without clinging to them too much. We can cherish the happy and joyous times. As they become aware of who they are transient, and with grace, let them leave when they go by similarly. When we come in times of hardship or suffering, we can reaffirm that they are passing away and that they eventually make way for more optimistic days. How to embrace impermanence in a practical way. Many basic things occur in our daily lives. Being attentive is the art of practicing being, completely present in every instant without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we can become adept at observing the constantly shifting nature of our emotions, ideas, and feelings without becoming entangled in. We can also work on letting go of them. Our reliance on predetermined results and anticipations, permitting life to transpire as, without attempting to exert authority or manipulate it. An additional potent method to embrace impermanence is achieved by means of express thanks by recognizing and acknowledging the transient nature of the individual's experiences and belongings. We can work on developing a deeper feeling of appreciation for the times we've had where we approach life with the mindset of with thankfulness. We can experience joy and satisfaction in even the most basic of pleasures, in understanding they are not assured to last indefinitely in the end. Acknowledging transience is about understanding to coexist peacefully with the nature cycles of life, relinquishing control to the flow of things, believing that everything thrown at us is intended to instruct us, test us, and in the end, assist us. Develop when we give off our ties to set results and accept because reality is transient, we can find independence, tranquility, and a deep sense of delight in every moment. Second principle. Principle 2. Detachment. Absence of attachment speaks for itself. Referred as in Buddhist philosophy as aha, pertains to the act of relinquishing our ties to objects, people, and experiences. It entails letting up of the cravings hold and desires release, freeing ourselves from the urge to own or regulate outside variables in order to discover happiness without attachment, implied disinterest or detachment instead. It is a deep acknowledgement of the life's fleeting nature and a understanding that real fulfillment only comes from within, as opposed to the outside. Conversely, the source's attachment is the main reason behind a lot of our pain. When we grow devoted to a particular results, belongings, or connections, we prepared ourselves to be let down and anger when things don't work out. Plan states that attachment produces a feeling of reliance when we grow dependent on outside elements for our perception of happiness and self-worth. This attachment can result in an endless cycle of hunger as we never stop looking for fresh new possessions or experiences in an effort to satisfy a perceived need inside themselves. But regardless of how much we obtain, the feeling of fulfillment that brief, leaving us yearning for more in a never-ending quest for satisfaction. To practice being non-attached, one must change in perspective and a readiness to give up deeply embedded habits of one method of thinking and doing is awareness that enables us to pay attention, our feelings and ideas without getting caught up in them by way of we can cultivate mindfulness practice, increased consciousness of our bond patterns and discover how to let them go with empathy and comprehension. Another method is to practice thankfulness and admiration for what we already possess by emphasizing the abundance in our existence as opposed to what is deficient. We can get a feeling of satisfaction and lessen the desire to never stop looking for more. Meditating can be an effective strategy for developing an indifferent mindset by sitting in silence and taking in the transient nature of our feelings and ideas could grow to feel detached from the mind's oscillations across time. This routine can assist us in letting go of our adherence to particular results and gain a greater sense of tranquility and, in the end, calmness cultivates. Being non-attached is a lifetime process that calls for endurance and self-awareness and a readiness to accept ambiguity. By relinquishing our connection to outside sources of contentment and fulfillment derived from, we can liberate ourselves from the inside by circle of pain and desire and feel more content, joyful and liberated. Principle 3 in our lives, almost there. Prati at the intermediary called Madama. In Buddhist philosophy, pratipad supporters of a reasonable approach to life. It motivates us to traverse the extremities of life with knowledge and moderation, staying clear of the traps of extreme indulgence or serious asceticism. That the middle path instructs us in discover a pleasing equilibrium between competing forces that embrace neither extreme nor overindulgent luxury. Extremities of self-denial, whether through excess or lack, frequently result in disharmony and pain when we give in, overindulging in sensory pleasures. Tangible belongings we might come upon momentary satisfaction, but in the end discover ourselves caught in a loop of yearning and discontent. On the opposite hand, when we deprive ourselves of essential comforts or needs in the search for asceticism or spiritual purity, we might discover that we are depleted in energy and unable to give life their all. The pursuing extremes might result in bodily, spiritual, and emotional discord as we grow disengaged from our actual needs and cravings. By deviating excessively from the halfway through, we run the risk of losing the humanity's diversity and complexity. Knowledge of calling targets to inflexible, rigid commitment to rules or dogma, discovering moderation and balance in day-to-day living starts with awareness of oneself and awareness. We can begin by looking at our routines and actions, noting where we might be focusing too much on one extreme to the other. By developing with awareness, we can grow more consciousness of our feelings, ideas, and develop the ability to react to life's difficulties, involving wisdom. And another hint for achieving balance is equanimity, is to approach everything with moderation. This does not imply that we should forego enjoyment or complete indulgence, although instead of relishing life's joys in moderation and with awareness, by exercising restraint, we can prevent the avoidance of excess and develop an increased satisfaction, and also fostering well-being. Being grateful can aid in achieving balance and viewpoint in our life by recognizing the profusion of gifts bestowed upon us. In every size, we can develop a feeling of fulfillment and lessen the inclination to continuously aim higher at last, achieving moderation and balance. In daily life, self-compassion is necessary, and endurance. After all, we're all human. Will undoubtedly falter and crash beside the route. By addressing oneself we can learn compassion and empathy from our errors and carry on developing and develop into a more harmonious. And principle 4, harmonious living. Fourth principle, empathy. 4, recognized karuna, compassion. As in Buddhist philosophy, karuna is the process of developing empathy, and being compassionate to others entails acknowledging other people's hardship and replying sincerely in an effort to lessen their suffering. Empathy goes, it is more than just pity or sympathy. a genuine relationship that aims to encourage and assist those who are battling to practice kindness, but not only helps others, but also improves our personal health when we extend, showing them compassion and empathy. Bolster our sense of interconnectedness, and a sense of acceptance and empathy in the world encourages transparency and generosity, enabling our liberation from the constrained spaces of ego and self-centeredness. By placing oneself in other people's shoes and understanding their difficulties, we develop a more profound sense of empathy, and empathy for oneself as well. Studies have indicated that engaging in numerous advantages can result from compassion. Impacts on our emotional and physical health. It can lessen anxiety and tension, reduce blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. Compassion's functional advancements, sentiments of contentment and satisfaction, as we feel the deep happiness that originates from changing things for the better. Numerous things exist in other people's lives. Methods to develop empathy in our everyday existence, beginning with awareness. Being attentive requires paying attention to the present and completely absorbed in our sensations and thoughts and feelings without passing judgment. By developing awareness, we can more sensitive to other people's plight and react with empathy and kindness. Another method for developing compassion is through deeds of generosity and assistance, by giving of our time, energy, or resources to aid those in need. But we do not only lessen their pain, but also bolster our own ability to kindness, whether by volunteering at giving to a local soup pantry philanthropic endeavor, or just providing a compassionate remark or gesture to a person in need. Each deed of generosity adds to the greater good. In addition to what we can develop empathy by using the meditation with an emphasis on loving compassion. In this meditation, silence reciting expressions of kindness and kinness toward oneself and others by fostering sentiments of compassion and love. With kindness in our hearts, we establish a rippling effects of healing and positivity that goes well beyond who we are. In the end, developing compassion is an exercise requiring conscious effort and dedication. By elevating compassion to our lives' primary emphasis, we can change our interpersonal connections, societies, and the environment we live in, fostering a more kind and caring. Principle 5. Society for all beings. Principle 5. Awareness. Known as sati in mindfulness, sati Buddhism. Philosophy is the application of awareness of the current moment is involved, focusing intently on our ideas, sentiments, sensations and surrounds without passing judgment. Mindfulness asks us to participate completely, with the ability to act in the current time, gain a deeper understanding of life, and genuinely, the act of scientific research has shown that mindfulness demonstrated to lessen stress and improve mental clarity. By bringing our focusing on the here and now, we can escape the hold of your rumination and anxiety, enabling us to release fears and regrets for the past concerning the future. Being conscious aids in the development of an inner serenity and tranquility. Even in among the difficulties of life, study research demonstrated that consistent mindfulness practice can result in a range of. It promotes both mental and physical wellness, can reduce cortisol levels in response to stress hormone and lessen anxiety symptoms, and mindfulness in relation to depression has also been demonstrated to enhance focus and attention, improve emotional control, and enhance sentiments of general well-being. There are numerous useful mindfulness activities that we can include in our daily activities to foster. Present exercises for mindfulness, instantaneous. One easy activity that promotes awareness is mindfulness, breathing in the areas we focus on to the breath's feelings as it enters and exits the body. Through concentration based on our breathing patterns, we can firmly establish ourselves in the here and now and quiet the mind's erratic thoughts. Another method for practicing mindfulness is body looking, where we methodically bring our focus on many areas of the body, registering any strain or sensations that emerge without passing judgment on this. Practice enables us to become more bodily consciousness and physical release, tension encouraging both stress relief and relaxation, alleviation. Mindful eating is an additional strong mindfulness practice that entails keeping a careful eye on the eating experience's sensory aspects, such the food's flavor, texture, and aroma, by enjoying every bite and giving it your all. Through our dietary habits, we can develop a deeper understanding of the food's ability to nourish and repair, free from thoughtless eating practices. We can also engage in mindfulness exercises in our regular routines like walking, getting ready for work, or doing the dishes by focusing entirely on the job at hand, nearby, and interacting with it sincerely. We may change even the most routine tasks into chances to practice mindfulness and presence. In the end, the act of being attentive involves understanding how to completely dwell our existence and accept one another moment with curiosity and openness. Self-compassion is an additional effective strategy for fostering acceptance through the provision of treatment ourselves with compassion, and knowing that we might come to embrace our flaws and susceptibilities with understanding and tolerance when we give up harsh self-judgment and instead give ourselves affection and acknowledgement. We provide the groundwork for inner fortitude and perseverance. At the end, gaining acceptance requires a lifetime of work, practice that calls for endurance, dedication, and developing self-awareness through acceptance. We are all capable of finding serenity and satisfaction in the face of constant change, the world of existence, and reveal our sentiments to the abundance of life's encounter during our investigation. We have examined the deep lessons of Buddhism, revealing 6 essential ideas that provide timeless wisdom for managing the highs and lows of life. We studied impermanence, which serves as a reminder regarding the dynamic character of existence. Our inability to cling teaches us to let go of cravings and aspirations, a midway ground, directing us in the direction of equilibrium, and compassion and moderation, calling us to recognize and respect others' mindfulness, urging us to live fully in each moment, and acceptance, beckoning us to accept reality as it is as we draw to a close. I urge you to embrace our adventure. These guidelines and apply them into your regular activities, regardless of overcoming obstacles or rejoicing in victories. These lessons provide priceless suggestions on achieving more tranquility, contentment, and tenacity by developing a non-attachment and transience, compassion, mindfulness, in the midst of acknowledgement that you can handle life's intricacies with grace and discernment, promoting a more profound feeling of well-being and peace, both inside oneself and among the universe surrounding you. Let's conclude.